Dordam do shogavi kilje Deus meus arriva me. Domine, Domine, exore me, manam vilom da grossa ie, manam vilom da grossa ie. Domine, Domine, exore me, manam vilom da grossa ie. Domine, Domine, exore me.
Good day, my tattoo will to come. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all doing well. God bless each and every one of you. So, apologies for not being able to stream on Tuesday. I was working very late and I was just so knackered when I came home. It was like 9 o'clock at night and I couldn't stream, so apologies for that. And today, Thursday, I'm actually streaming an hour earlier than I normally do. So, sorry for maybe catching you in a soft guard a wee bit, but something's popped up later on that I have to attend to, so I have to do my stream a wee bit earlier, so apologies for that. So, the election looks like it's going to be called now. I would say it's probably going to be called either tomorrow or next week, and I would say for the last week of November, you're speaking. So we're all getting geared up for that. Still hitting a bit of a brick wall regarding fundraising for the election, but it is what it is. I do my best. Whatever I raise, and whatever we don't. So if you want to support my election campaign and put my money where my mouth is, we're putting up our posters ourselves, handing out leaflets, knocking on doors. We need money for advertising. So whatever comes in, it comes in. I'll do the best I can, right? And if you want to support my election campaign, link is in the description. So before we get into tonight's action, we're going to see our Lord's Prayer as Gaeilge, so please join me. Nanya Manahar agus a vec agus spirit need, amen. Arn Yahar a tar now, go ni for Daniel, go die the reg, go yanter the hollow and tell of mar yanter now. Ar narn le hul to do new, agus my do nar fecta, mar a whitehammers are vect in a fean, act election a gahu, ag sears in a olke men. Nanya Manahar agus a vec agus spirit need, amen. Alright everybody, how are we all doing? Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know in the live chat where you're all from, or if you're re-watching the show. I know I'm doing the show a bit earlier, so there probably people are expecting me to live stream at 8, but I'm live streaming at 7, so apologies for that. So, alright, let me see now who's in the live chat. Sean Mack, thanks for moderating. Zorowski, thank you for moderating too. Frank Barron, good to see you. Rufus Page, how we doing? Arnold the Saxon, good man yourself. Patrick Shields, thanks for joining us. Oh, excuse me. Attracta Crilly, good to see you too. Caroline, how's it going? Caroline, sorry, I know you called me the last day and I was I was busy canvassing and I didn't get to call you back, Caroline. Apologies about that. Maybe I'll try and get calling you tomorrow, right? Renum says, everyone please share this live stream with all your contacts. Let's follow her up. Absolutely, Renum. That's the very least you can do, is share these streams with all your friends and family. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it in your WhatsApp groups, email it to your friends and family. Say, watch this mad bog man from Donegal speak in some sense. Angela Gardner said, I would like to say, I did try to greet, but no one answered me. Am I banned from the site? Evening now. I don't think so, Angela. Why would you be banned? DBDL, seen you in Muff the last day. Keep up the good work. I was in Muff, absolutely. Already shared on Twitter if Ireland's full. Good stuff, Ruffus. Thank you. Good man. Okay, so let's get into tonight's action. Now, the title of the live stream is European Union has a stranglehold. I was just typing that fast. Has a stranglehold on Ireland. Irexit. Now, you know, when you're members of the European Union, you know, the Irish regime or the Irish people have given up one colonial power for another. The European Union pretty much control everything about Ireland. They control our borders, they control our immigration laws, they control our budget. Like the most recent budget there was released yesterday. Look at that. The Irish government, they can't even decide the budget themselves. They have to submit it to the European Union, and the European Union have to approve our budget. You know, they control all sorts of laws. They control immigration. They control the fishing industry as well. Ireland has the largest fishing rights in Europe, where our waters and our island is situated. But because we're members of the European Union, the Irish fishermen only get 15% quota of our own fish. You know, and we are a net contributor to the European Union. Our borders are wide open. See, with the members being a member of the European Union, anybody who's a member of the European Union can travel to any other country free of travel. And you know, Varadkar admitted that himself during the lockdowns, that you know, we can't ban travel. Some people suggested, why don't you just, you know, the Irish aren't allowed to leave their houses, but just have open borders. Well, he says, well, being members of the EU, we have to have open borders. So now, I saw this here on social media. This is coming from RTE News. Now, pay attention to the language that they use. So the European Commission has ordered, not asked, they've ordered the Irish government to bring its legislation into line with an European Union law on combating racism and xenophobia, stating that Irish courts were not considering racist hatred or xenophobia as a motive by those carrying out crimes, including Holocaust denial. So the EU has ordered Ireland to make Holocaust denial a crime. Okay? You know, if you want to know who rules over you, just criticize those in power and you'll see what happens. You know, or you know, find out who you can criticize, and you know, you see there. Well, not really say too much, but you know what I mean. The powers that be, the enemies of freedom of expression, don't want you questioning certain narratives or questioning history regarding certain wars that happened not so long ago. And you know, you would think in a free and open society, you should be able to, you know, investigate and look back in time and try and figure out actually what happened. But if you question certain numbers, the amount of people that died, or how certain things happened, you know, you can go to jail. You know, it's just a one-sided story. We never ever hear on how the losers what happened to losers and the people there, and how they're raped, murdered by the tens of millions men per people, and they're still subjugated to this day. Yeah, you're absolutely right. The Holodomor as well, carried out by the same parasitic people. 100%. Thanks, but no thanks. What about funding ideas we could help now, as it's critical that we get funding in place to get Niall elected? The way it's going in the UK, there's a possibility that Ireland will be affected. Well, we have a fundraiser going. Like, there's a link in the description if people want to chip in. But we're just hitting a bit of a brick wall. This election, really, really bad. And like, the election could be called tomorrow, so that means posters could probably go up tomorrow or tonight or tomorrow night. You know, but you know what I mean. Just really struggling this time. But like, I've done my best. Whatever happens, happens now. Like, I'm doing my best. I'll give it everything. But without your support, I can't do anything. Like, the Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, Sinn Féin, they have huge backers. Some of the most the most wealthy political parties in the world, and they get funded by the state, the taxpayer. I don't get funded by the taxpayer or the state. Yep, absolutely, Tessa. We have to leave the European Union 100%. Now this is I think this is an old clip, but it just goes to show, right? Another part of this stranglehold, these foreign, entities have in Ireland is the amount of non-government organisations there are active in Ireland. There's 35,000 NGOs active in Ireland, all trying to subvert the Irish nation. Let's have a listen here.
Chairman, I would like to extend greetings to the very balanced delegation of Ireland, and also to the representatives of Irish civil society. I have a question to the Minister. In your country, is each person member of an NGO? Because given the large number of representatives who have come just on the subject of racial discrimination, it seems to me that there must be a lot of NGOs, and I'm convinced that that must be the case. Chairman, I would like to...
There you go. We're not making this up. Ireland is a tax haven for these NGOs, these, corporations. That's why they're registering here. But, the Irish regime don't seem to have a problem with that, because they're probably getting backhanders and brown envelopes. But you've got 35,000 NGOs, and so many of them are like these pro-refugee NGO, anti-racist NGOs, and they submit policy to the Irish government and push policy in the Irish government, and it's effectively a shadow government. And that's another thing that needs to be looked at, is the NGO sector. Please let me know in the live chat what you're all thinking. Any questions you have for me? So if you want to support my election campaign, you can do so in the description. We need money for leaflets. We have leaflets, but any election that I've run before, I've always needed more. But we need posters. We need leaflets. We need advertising. We need to be diesel money for driving all over the county. It's squeaky bum time now. There's a link in the description if you want to chip in to my election campaign. Let's try and get hitting our targets to get more posters. Whatever we bring in. But I was really hoping I would do a bit better. But it is what it is. So if you can chip in, I'd really appreciate it to my general election campaign. Okay. So this African's at it again. This African youngster who's intimidating Irish people and harassing them. Let's see what he's up to now. Is this a new video, is it, or is it an old one? Because he's been doing these types of videos before, but I've seen this one here. This one popping up on Twitter.
Alright, so today we're going to be doing fake Irexit's prank. I'm sorry, I don't know, I'm actually new to this town. My name is...
So am I, I know.
No, you're not.
I'm lost.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
I'm lost myself.
Yeah, well,
yeah. I'm actually... Do you know where Duns is?
Come on. Duns?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You sure?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, Duns down there. Oh,
down this way.
Yeah, game. Sorry. I don't know, do you know where, Vodafone?
Vodafone?
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah.
Because I actually have some problems, so I know, that I have some problems in my head, so I know where Vodafone is.
This is there.
You sure?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm new to this town. Please tell me where it is. Don't be lying to
me. Low IQ fool. He thinks this is funny. Harassing Irish people.
Me. You're lying to my face! You're lying to my face! Yeah, yo, sorry, I don't know, do you know where Don's is by any chance? Don's? Over there, you sure?
Yeah, don't doubt.
Ah, you sure it's there?
Yeah.
Alright, thank you very much. You're a good man. Alright.
How stupid do you have to be? How of a low IQ human being do you have to be to think that's funny and just to go around harassing people? It just shows like the hatred he has for the indigenous people of Ireland. Instead of being grateful for, you know, allowing him to stay in Ireland, you know, has he got nothing better to do? You know, they are, and these people take advantage of the good nature of the Irish people. They just tell him to F off. The first fellow was a bit annoyed at him. Let's move on here. Kilrush, when people in small town Ireland are publicly talking about population replacement, that's a sign things are changing. Remigration is inevitable.
You do not have your own identity. You do not have your own culture. You do not have your own way of life. We Irish people fought the British for 800 years, and now we handed over our freedom to the EU, which wants to replace the great plantation of the modern day Ireland. The British tried to do it.
Well done, well done.
But the EU is a bigger dictatorship than what the British Empire ever was. And remember this, ladies and gentlemen, people power prevails because we have the numbers. The politicians are only the 1% and the elites. If we stand up, we can take back control of our town, stop this from happening, and stop the Kalergi plan from diluting every single country in Europe to make it one government, one religion. That's what they want in Europe. We need to stand up and stop this from happening, because if we don't stand up, not one single person in this town can turn around and say, how do we let this happen? Because if you don't stand up, you have no right to turn around and say, how do we let this happen?
Well said, well said.
If we do stand up, then we can say, we did not let this happen, because Rush says no, and no means no to the owners of these premises and to the people who are coming here, all the traitors, and that's what I like to call them. They are traitors of the people of Rush. Yeah. They did not respect the neighbours, they did not respect the school.
Yes, Jason, you are, Modular, you are. Get up there, Modular, get up there.
Traitors, they are indeed. Well done to that man for speaking out, having the courage, the balls, the conviction to stand up for what he believes in and stand up for his wee town and for his people. Good man himself, and speaking about the Kalergi plan, the destruction of the European people, of the European race. Traitors is right indeed. Now this is independent TD Carol Nolan slams the Irish government for flooding Ireland with foreigners. Let's see what she has to say.
At the end of this government's tenure, we have a homeless and housing crisis that is an affront to man and God. We are one of the richest nations on earth, according to some assessments, but our single greatest asset, our children, our young people, are being financially squeezed or forced abroad. Government, until the dying minutes of its regime, and through its own sheer gutlessness, has refused to face up to the measures needed to reduce vast numbers of illegal inward migration. This has allowed the growth of an entirely new phenomenon, the asylum industrial complex. This is draining billions from the taxpayer, with estimates that government costs are now running over €5 million per day just to maintain a socially catastrophic policy. It is the most expensive virtue signalling policy in history. At the end of this government...
Yep, it's the destruction of Ireland, €5 million per day. That's €1 per person per day in Ireland. Hey? Who's paying for all this? You see, there's no free lunches in this world. This is all, you know, borrowed money or, you know, and they'll be interested to pay in this, and it'll be our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren that will all have to pay for this. I may never pay for it. And, you know, you've got the anti-Catholic usury system, and we all know who invented and are pushing the usury system in Western society. They speak about them in the Bible. When Jesus flipped the tables in the temple, or the money changers, those people, you know, they've been pushing usury for a long time, and they've used usury to bankrupt countries, bankrupt England, and now they're bankrupt in Ireland, and then they control you. Well, Ireland had no debt whatsoever, like pre the banking crisis in 2008. So that's why we need to leave the EU. We need to get back our monetary system, because, you know, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, these NGOs, the European Union have a complete and utter stranglehold on Ireland. Yeah, the coin clippers is right. What's everybody saying in the live chat? Any questions? Please let me know. You know, and we've abandoned Christianity, the faith of our forefathers, for globalism, materialism, atheism, abortion. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see another clip here. African man is angry because more money is spent in the north of Ireland promoting the Irish language than is spent on race equality programs. Also, he thinks the Good Friday Agreement was set up to stop racism. Here we go. This boy, we've seen this boy before, but let's see him again.
Most people, including myself, we are socialized into a racist country. What I experienced
African socialized
was blatant lies. Blatant lies to suggest that they had done everything in their power to implement the race equality strategy. I asked several questions, and one of these questions I asked was, how much money had the executive put forward for the rollout of the race equality strategy? The answer to that was none. If you look at how much money has been put into the rollout of the Irish language by the executive, you will see why the executive...
Like, the absolute audacity of an African to come to Ireland and lecture the Irish people and tell them we need to change our society for them. We need to give up power for them. Like, can you imagine Irish people going to Nigeria and lecturing the Nigerians, you just need to give up your culture, well, whatever culture they do have, you know, and hand over power to whites. Unbelievable. Where do these people get off? But see, I think this fella has been lectured to do this. Like, he's getting trained by some NGO, because, you know, he doesn't have any brain cells himself. He's been lectured and told what to say and what to do. This is what they do, the powers that be. This isn't organic. He's been told what to do, coached what to say.
Is an institutionally racist executive. Our suffering has become the employer of many people who are saviors, white saviors. I was at this meeting today to look at the impact of the race equality, the race riots that have been happening in Belfast. And in the room to discuss this, 97% of the people in the room were professional white people. Our suffering has been bureaucratized and made as a...
If you don't like it, go back home. Ireland is a white European country. If you don't like it, go back to Mogadishu, go back to Nigeria, Lagos, wherever you're from. There's not much diversity in them countries. There's no diversity in them countries. When the Europeans went there to help us, brought engineering, brought medicine, brought culture, brought food, brought aviation, brought plumbing, brought architecture, you name it, brought it to us. Tried to help us. Tried to civilize us, but there's no civilizing us. Look what you did down in Zimbabwe, Rhodesia. Look what you did in South Africa. And they come to our countries, or European countries, welcome in by our traitorous politicians, and start lecturing us that we need to change. We need to give up political power to you.
Employment avenues and opportunities for career messianic white folks. Because after 28 years of the Good Friday Agreement, nothing has happened to address racism.
Everything is about race to them. Everything. There's nothing that they can't see without race. And he's using all the buzzwords too. Institutional racism. Where's he getting this from? He's probably at some university at behest of the Irish taxpayer, getting a gender studies or some kind of like a race studies degree, and he'll be given some kind of high position of power yet, believe you me. It's really hard to watch, isn't it? Here's another video. An African care worker complains about elderly Irish people playing Christmas music. Making TikTok videos about vulnerable people is a good sign you don't belong in that job or this country. I know. I think I was muted there. So the caption says, when you get to work and the service users start jamming Christmas songs at 8:05 a.m. Look, if you don't like it, go back to Africa. Go back to your mud hut. If you don't like our culture, if you don't like Irish people playing Christmas songs, go home. No one's keeping you here. We'll be fine without you. We were fine without you people for thousands of years. Off your high horse. The absolute cheek of these people. Who do they think they are? Thomas Murphy says, stop the racism against Irish people. Send them home now. Get that thing off the screen, lads. He's annoying me, says Wally. Probably doing PhD in sociology like the rest. No, you're probably right there. Black History Lying Month in the UK. Yeah, it's in Ireland too, I think. It's everywhere. Worldwide, forcing it on us. Ireland. Africans struggle for an identity are mimicking the drill culture from the UK. This behaviour doesn't belong in Ireland, I know. They say diversity is our strength. You think about what came before us. The great Irish men and women, the great culture that they had, the great traditions that they had. And they're up in heaven now looking down on us and witnessing this.
Can't fuck with these girls from P, I can't. With these A-town chicks come lend when she walks in the room, I be smelling that sweet smell. I heard I got an XL Vex.
I only mute it now because in case I get a copyright strike. Diversity is our strength, they tell us, eh? So this Clown World Ireland, modular homes for Ukrainians increased from 200,000 to 442,000, and the bad news is the cost will continue to increase. Yeah.
Modular homes for Ukrainians has more than doubled, according to a new report from the state's spending watchdog, the Controller and Auditor General. It found that in 2022, the initial projected cost was an estimated €200,000 per residential unit. That's now risen to around €440,000 per unit. The report also found that no credible and long-term use for the modular units has yet been determined. But for more on this, we're joined by our work and technology correspondent Brian O'Donovan. Brian, a lot of people out there will be wondering how on earth could the cost double in just 2 years?
Yeah, it's a big jump, David, going from 200,000 per unit to €440,000 per unit just in the space of 2 years. And really the report today from the Controller and Auditor General points to a lack of availability of suitable sites. And they're saying that was a big problem for the OPW. At one point, they had identified 70 potential sites. 3/4 of them had to be rejected. They just weren't suitable. Many of them were too small. That led to delays. That led to the costs being...
They were too small. The Ukrainians weren't happy enough with them. But this is absolutely shocking again. Like, nothing surprises me anymore with the Irish regime. It's just so much in your face. And the chutzpah, these people just to be openly talking about spending over €400,000 per unit to house Ukrainians. And like Ireland, how many Ukrainians is Ireland hosting? Well over 100,000. And with almost 15,000 Irish homeless. Oh, I don't know. Please let me know in the live chat what you all think about them clips that I just played for you there now. Yeah, Robert Maguire, you're absolutely right. And not one for the Irish homeless, I know. This is so wrong, says Redwater. Europe is finished, says Seamus. Look, there could be a general election called tomorrow. I said it'll be called tomorrow or next week. Look, I need your help. Really hitting a brick wall regarding fundraising. Whatever I bring in, but it's not looking good at the minute. I'm hoping to run a really good election campaign. Look, effectively, this could be the last election we have to turn things around. Like, I'm throwing my hat in the ring in Donegal. I've been doing this for well over a decade. This is my second general election. This is my third election altogether. I need your help. You have backed me in the past. If you can chip into my election campaign, scroll down below the video. And look, if you want to help other ways, you can. You go to our shop, go to our store. We have the books available, all the books, all the newspapers available. So we have our own book, a handbook for the New Fenian. We have our own newspaper. We write ourselves, the Irish Patriot newspaper. The Ireland is Full stickers. They're very, very popular and very, very cheap. They're effectively just cost price. We've got the Reconquista of the West book, the Great Reset book, the Dewey Reams Bible, black leather, very, very beautiful Bible, our Martyrs book, handbook for the New Fenian. And also the Irish Butcher Box, 100% grass-fed and grass-finished lamb and beef delivered to your front door. And I actually weighed, I needed to edit this because it's actually heavier. The beef box in particular is heavier than I realised. I need to weigh the lamb box. But the beef box, right, I weighed it yesterday when I was sending them out. The beef box is actually 16 kilos. 16 kilos for €160, right? So that's €10 per kilo. That's an incredible price. And you get all the cuts. And you get bone marrow, liver, kidneys, heart as well. With all the different sirloins, ribeyes, steaks, roast joints, etc. And anybody who's got it so far are very, very happy. It's the highest quality lamb and beef in the world. Delivered to your front door. And now, anywhere in Ireland and mainland UK now, we've got something sorted. So if you're anywhere like in London, Scotland, England, Scotland, Wales, we deliver there now. So scroll down below this video. Now you have to pay an extra €20 shipping because it's just I have to pay next delivery, like the highest, most expensive delivery to ensure it gets delivered the next day. I have to just pay more shipping, and I have to pay. It's like €20, but like you cannot beat that quality and the price. It's incredible. Like I'm really proud of how we're doing it. And so there you go now in the UK and Ireland. If you want the lamb or beef delivered to your front door, like it supports Irish farmers, supports the local butchers, the abattoir, haulage companies. You know, it helps a lot of people. And buy Irish. You boycott like the Tesco's, the Asda's, the Aldi's, the Lidl's. Boycott them. Support Irish farmers. Support Irish businesses. And it's actually cheaper and higher quality. So why wouldn't you do it? I know. Sorry, Michael Ryan, I couldn't deliver to America, unfortunately. Okay, everybody, that's it for me tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you all again Sunday. Please share all these videos with your friends and family. That's the very least you can do. Support the Irish Patriot lamb box and the beef box. Link is so everything I'm talking about. The link is in the description in case I didn't mention. Scroll down below this video to the shop. Click the butcher box or click the general election fundraiser. And we'll see us all again on Sunday. God bless us all. Aaron go brave.
Thank you.